Assalamu alaikum, Aziz Dusladim. My name is Mark Rees, translator of Abdullah Qadir's Ukkan Kunlar. Many of you have followed my literary adventures over the past 20 years, not to mention the decade it took to translate the novel. You are fully aware of the achievements behind the publication of Abdullah Qadir's first full-length novel in the Uzbek language. I received the Order of Duslik from His Excellency President Shavkat Mirziyoyev. I've conducted dozens of lectures, interviews, media appearances to further awareness of Central Asia's rich literary heritage. During COVID, I translated another Uzbek novel by the author Utkir Hashimov. Dunyoning Ishlade was the name of the novel, along with Abdullah Raziev, the primary translator. But now I am ready to translate Abdullah Qadir's Mehrobdan Chayon, or Scorpion from the Altar. If you're not familiar with Ukkan Kunlar, it's set 20 years before the Russian conquest of Tashkent. We are given a journey of Central Asia, very much caught in interethnic conflict between sedentary and non-sedentary people within a young Hudura Khan's court, the last Khan of the Kokand Khanate. In Ukkan Kunlar, as a youth, he was under the control of his regent father-in-law, Musulman Kul, a Kipchak, a non-sedentary person. Ukkan Kunlar was published as a full-length novel in 1926. It's what I often call a tale of memory and loss. Abdullah Qadir gives us a narrative of an ecumenical Central Asian world, a tale of the past to describe the present, and as a warning to the future. He addresses future generations in the preface to his novel. In the early 20th century, Qodiriy witnessed some of the most harrowing events of the early Soviet Union. And one of them was the loss of the farrago of ethnicities being homogenized under Soviet rule. With Mehrobdan Chayon, we get sort of a sequel to Ukkan Kunlar with a much older Hudura Khan. He's much more world-weary, and in some ways the two novels are as much about Hudura Khan as they are about the heroes of the novel. I don't want to give away too many spoilers here, but I see how Abdullah Qadiri has really developed his style as a writer in this later novel. It is much more developed in tone, but I need your help. Translating Ukkan Kunlar took over a decade because of the politics of the period kept me from collaborating with people in Central Asia. I've received no compensation for my work other than the $50 a month I get from Amazon from sales, but I do have some amazing news forthcoming in that regard, but you get my meaning. Life is hard as an independent creative. I'm a simple guy trying to follow his passion and develop many of the ideas that you found already in my copious endnotes in Ukkan Kunlar. Some of those ideas that I'm trying to develop are, what do the novels say about ethnic conflict and relations during the period, during Qadiriy's period, during our period? What do they say about women in Islam? What do they say about Islam and governance? And how does Qadiri bring Central Asia people and give them a human face to global readership? I think it's a way of him celebrating not just Uzbekness, but celebrating Central Asianness and trying to capture that soul of a people. If Abdullah Qadir's message was a warning to future generations, we are that future generation. We are that dream of the Jadids. We are that dream of trying to build an independent republic. Leadership today in Central Asia, they're doing things that I never thought would ever happen in Central Asia. This September is my 30th year of engagement with Central Asia, especially Uzbekistan. My entire professional career has been spent in Central Asia, and my entire professional career has been trying to explain to foreigners the uniqueness of the region, why it's so special, and trying to put it into context for people and policymakers. And I think in that regard, think tanks have a way of explaining. Literature has a way of showing people the soul of a people, the soul of a period. And I think it puts things into context. Central Asian languages are being slowly picked up more and more as a learning objective for professionals in the region. And I think Uzbek literature and Central Asian literature in general has a way of bringing source material home to people who make decisions about the region. And I also think that, people travel to a region because they read a book or they see a movie, and you can't AI this. This has to come from the human soul. So I want to give Mehrobdan Chayon, again, it's my 30th year. Central Asia is giving me everything, my entire life, my career, my family. And so with Mehrobdan Chayon, what I'm trying to close that translation activity out, but I'm also trying to bring these ideas to the forefront. Again, I don't want to give too many spoilers, I've got a lot of things coming up this fall. So this new effort will help me with covering costs of travel. It'll help me covering costs of hiring really great editors, both in the Uzbek and English language. I don't ask people to volunteer. I don't work with volunteers because I find, one, that's not dependable. Two, I think we're trying to create a creative economy in Central Asia. So I could use your help. I won't disappoint you. I want to bring these two novels together, Ukan Kunlar, Mehrobdan Chayon, bring them together and bookend both of these two novels so that you get the full expanse of Hidura Khan's career. And we can probably answer some of these questions in the context of what you're seeing in Central Asia today. Again, all of the mistakes in Ukan Kunlar and all of the future mistakes in Mehrobdan Chayon, those are mine. All the victories of these novels are Central Asia's. Thank you.